Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru, and in this video, I'm going to explain why you should not use the engagement objective on Facebook. There are some real issues with using the engagement objective on Facebook. It can really negatively hurt your overall Facebook advertising results. I'm going to explain why in this video and go through what you can do instead. Before I get into that, I just want to very quickly ask you to smash that like button and of course subscribe to my channel if you are new and you haven't done so already. I release Facebook advertising related content like this all the time. Okay, so before I get into the issues with the engagement objective, I just want to be very, very clear and make sure we're both on the same page when we know what we're talking about when I talk about the engagement objective. I've obviously got an example ad account up here. I've gone into the create a campaign window, and then we're presented with the different campaign objectives. And you can see that there's an option here called engagement. And when I select engagement, you'll actually see there's 3 different options within the engagement campaign objective. There's post engagement, page likes, and event responses. What I'm talking about in this video is the post engagement option, which is the default and the one that most people would associate with the engagement campaign objective. Now, the reason why people would run the engagement campaign objective and use post engagement is because they want to generate comments, likes, social proof, reactions on their ads. And that sounds like a fantastic thing to go for. You think, okay, I'll run a campaign to get lots of engagement. Engagement is good, right? Or I'll run an engagement campaign to get lots of people interacting with my ad, lots of engagement on it, and then I'll use that ad in my conversion campaigns, let's say, and that social proof, those comments, likes, and reactions and things like that, that's going to help me get better results, okay? But there's a real issue with using the post engagement objective, and I'm going to jump over here and go to Facebook's support doc on what's the engagement objective to explain it. Facebook could not be more clear or simple about what the engagement objective is. The engagement objective is designed to get more people to see and engage with your Facebook post or page. With engagement as your objective, you can create ads they're the 3 options, but it's this line here. It's designed to get more people to see and engage with your Facebook post or page. Facebook does not make any distinction over whether that engagement is positive or negative. And actually, as we know, if you've seen a lot of the things around social media and how the processes work, it's often a lot easier to get engagement with negative content or get people to react negatively to content than it is to get people to react positively. And we've seen this a lot when we've tested this with clients, and I've certainly had this experience before. Basically, no matter what you advertise, there are people who are going to not like what you're advertising or just not like that you're advertising, full stop, okay? And there are people that are going to leave negative comments, negative reactions. And I would say that over the last few years, we've seen more and more of this, where when we test the engagement objective, the post-engagement sort of subset within that, a lot of the engagement that you generate is negative. It's people leaving negative reactions, it's people leaving negative comments. And if your objective obviously is to get engagement because that helps you sell your products or services, or get engagement so that you then have lots of posts with social proof that you can then use as ads to help sell your products and services, negative engagement is so damaging. People leaving comments that are often completely untrue, saying, oh, don't buy from this company, you know, they've got terrible customer service, or it's a scam, or their products aren't real. You'll see that sort of stuff on just completely uncalled for regular ads for businesses, no issues whatsoever. We see that stuff all the time. Now, because the engagement objective is designed to get people engaged, Facebook's algorithms and machine learning process is optimizing for engagement. They're not differentiating between positive and negative engagement. So in Facebook's mind, if they get someone to comment, great. That's whether they're leaving a comment saying, bought from this company before, they're fantastic, would recommend it, or whether they're leaving a comment saying, never buy from them, they're terrible, avoid them at all costs. Engagement could be someone leaving a heart reaction or someone leaving an angry face reaction on an ad. And it was always there. It's becoming more and more of an issue when you run the engagement objective. Now, you're going to get negative feedback no matter what campaign objective you run, but you certainly don't want to be specifically optimizing for engagement if a good percentage of that engagement is negative. And we see this obviously a lot more with certain industries than others. Some are a lot more forgiving, but this is definitely something to be aware of. And the impact of this is more than you might think. It's not just on that post or ad itself, but it also, if we jump back into Ads Manager, is going to affect your other campaigns. So obviously Facebook is learning at the ad account level, also at the campaign level, but at the ad account level, who engages with your content, who clicks through to your website, who's most likely to buy, all that sort of stuff. Well, if you were to then say, run an engagement campaign, generate social proof, and you've also got conversion campaigns running, for example, If you've run engagement campaigns and a lot of the engagement is negative, which it is a lot now, unfortunately, that can negatively impact your conversion campaigns because Facebook's going, oh, we've got a whole bunch of people. We know this type of person engages with this business's ads. Let's run conversion campaigns to them and see how they do. Now, they're obviously not going to do very well and Facebook will learn, but who wants to go through that additional learning and that waste of money? Because it's basically training Facebook to go after people that you probably don't want to be, well, you certainly don't want to be advertising to again and didn't want to be advertising to in the first place. So that's one big negative. Well, another big negative associated is it's going to negatively impact the rest of your campaigns because you're training Facebook to put your ads in front of people that react very negatively to your content, but do engage because when people don't like something, they engage negatively often. It also does something that you really want to avoid. Now, I've just got this prepared here. I'm in the Audiences tab. Now, one of the custom audiences that I'm now recommending you create and you use is a custom audience based on people that have engaged with your Facebook page. So if we go into Create Audience and Custom Audience, and then we take a look at Facebook page under Facebook Sources and click Next, you will see that we can create a custom audience, everyone who engaged with your page. And specifically within that, that's going to be people you can see who have visited your page or taken an action on a post or an ad, such as reactions, shares, comments, link clicks, carousel swipes, etc. Now, this is often a great warm audience, a custom audience to retarget, because if someone has engaged with your ads or they visited your Facebook page, like great, they've demonstrated usually interest in your products and services. So advertising to those people again makes a lot of sense. And I'll include a link in the video description below to another video all about custom audiences and how you create them, including this one and how you use them and that sort of stuff. However, if you're creating a custom audience based on people who've engaged with your Facebook page, and that includes a lot of people that have negatively engaged with your Facebook page, you absolutely don't want to be retargeting them. And that could mess up your whole retargeting ad set or retargeting campaign if you've got this audience included. We've seen this quite a bit recently. As I said, comments have gotten more negative. I think Facebook's, as I said, gotten better at getting engagement, which ironically means that a lot of that engagement is negative because that's a really effective way to get engagement. So you can see how if you're hoping to retarget the people that are engaging, if 40% or 30% of those people that are engaged are leaving really negative comments, that also is going to mess up this custom audience. And you can also create, obviously, lookalike audiences off that. It's then going to mess up that subsequent lookalike audience. So for the most part, there are always going to be exceptions. Certain times where a business where we don't see much negative engagement, or we're really wanting to promote something to a warm audience that we know is going to get lots of engagement, so we will use the engagement objective. But for the most part, you do not want to use the engagement objective because of these issues. It is just not worth it. You're much better off, if we jump back over here, running conversion campaigns, even with a new ad account, or obviously if you can't run conversions, maybe traffic, or if you're using a different sales funnel, something like Reach, okay? Very, very important. So hopefully that has been useful. You can now adjust your campaigns if you are using the engagement objective or not use them going forward, and it can save you some money and help make sure you don't hurt your results really, which is what the engagement objective can do quite often. Before you go, a couple of things I want to mention. The first is a free webinar I've created called 3 Killer Facebook Ad Strategies to Double or More Your Revenue. In this webinar, we break down different sales funnels. Different sales funnels are required for different business models. If you sell a product, you need to sell something very different. You need to sell that very differently to how you sell a high-end service, for example. So we've got 3 different sales funnels in that webinar. I break them down step by step, show you exactly how to implement them. Could not recommend going through that more. It's completely free. Links in the video description, about 60 minutes long, and I think you'd be very, very happy you went through it if you did. As I said, it's all about strategies and sales funnels, which is super important with Facebook advertising. Other thing I want to mention is membership. So recently I turned on YouTube channel membership. So you can now become a member of my YouTube channel. And to become a member, it's a small monthly fee. And in exchange for that, you get priority on me answering your comments. So obviously as my channel has grown, I get more and more comments. It's become more and more difficult for me to respond to a bunch of them. So what I'm doing is I'm prioritizing member comments. So if you go ahead and become a member and you leave a comment, my objective is to answer every single comment left by a member. So obviously if you've got questions around any of the stuff I create, any of my videos, any of the strategies, any of this stuff, I think you find it really, really useful to become a member and make sure you get those answered, because I know the answer to those questions could be make or break for your Facebook advertising, could impact your business a lot. You also get to be involved in member-only polls, so you can have a say in what content I create and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, you'll see that beneath this video, there's a little join button. If you click on that, that'll just bring up all the information associated with becoming a channel member. And if you do and decide to support my YouTube channel, that would be much appreciated. And yeah, if you found this video useful, remember, hit that thumbs up button, that'd be much appreciated. Comment below to let me know whether you become a member or not. Always helpful in the comments. I'd say I will still try and answer as many comments from non-members as well as members as I can. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Release Facebook advertising content like this all the time. You do not want to miss out on this stuff because we test this as an agency all the time. And you know, if you're making these sorts of mistakes, it can have a big negative impact on your results. So subscribe, you'll see this content, make sure you're not making any mistakes. Okay, thanks a lot guys, bye for now.